Nintendo's main IP, the game that has spanned generations, Mario.
I don't know anyone who hasn't played this game. Maybe my mom and dad didn't play it, but they certainly heard it in their living room. So yeah, it's great just to be a part of something that's just a part of our culture for so long.
This guy has too many games to mention. My personal favourite's Super Mario World on the SNES. That's called the Super Nintendo for people who don't know. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch is a perfect game.
When I bust out a Mario Kart, I'm always Bowser. Because that's who I am. I think I'm perfectly suited to the role of Bowser. And when I play Mario Kart, I have to bring out my inner Bowser.
And Mario Tennis was addictive, same as Mario Golf. To be honest, I could go on all day about Mario games.
Well, everyone's got that nostalgic moment in their childhood that they hold on to. And, I think Mario is that nostalgic moment for a lot of people.
So when the live-action Mario film came out in 1993, I was ready for the big screen iteration of a character I had grown to love. Unfortunately, it was a massive letdown for many fans. Basically, it was a box office flop. I mean, just look at it. However, now, with the involvement of Illumination, the creators of the Minions, who have seen success at the box office with the majority of their films, the expectation was high now for the fans. But did the movie deliver? I'll start by saying that Disney need to really buck up their ideas, because Illumination look to have just created a Nintendo cinematic universe. Let's start with the paper-thin plot, which revolves around Brooklyn plumbers Mario and Luigi, who are transported to a magical world while fixing a water main. When the brothers are separated, Mario embarks on a fantastical world that is under attack by the crazy lunatic Bowser, who wants to marry Princess Peach and rule the world.
Bowser also enjoys heavy metal music. And he rules with the power of rock!
Now I'm going to have to bring up the elephant in the room, which is the casting of Chris Pratt as Mario, which was met with apprehension from fans, who would have preferred to have the voice behind the character of the computer games. Thankfully, the film provides a plausible explanation for this, which was done in Mario and Luigi's first scene.
Thank you, Super Mario Bros. It seems like the only thing you haven't drained is my bank account.
The issue of casting famous names in movies instead of more suitable voice actors is not unique to this film, as it is often the case that studios would prefer to have recognisable names to put butts in seats, so to speak, and that is understandable from a business perspective. It's a difficult one to try and appease the business and the consumer at the same time. Now let's talk about the screenplay for the movie, which seemed to go in a few directions and went nowhere in particular as well. The way Mario and Luigi find the portal to the magical world was illogical, and the story felt uninteresting. And that was just in the first 10 minutes of the movie. Saying that though, the Mario games didn't have much of a plot either. They were just enjoyable platform games with real cool levels that you just wanted to complete. Highly addictive stuff and seriously a visual treat. And I know I've been bashing the movie slightly, but let me talk about some positives. The portrayal of Princess Peach as a character with pride and individuality was a fresh take on the character who usually gets kidnapped by Bowser.
Princess Peach is an incredibly capable and great leader, first and foremost, and if you actually think about it, it makes sense that this is the way that she should have always been played, because if you're the ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom and technically it's a flourishing society, if you're constantly being kidnapped and moved from castle to castle, you're not doing a very good job of leading. So I feel like this is the way that she was supposed to be.
Luigi, played by Charlie Day, was pretty good in the movie, with him playing the role of damsel in distress. But as fans, we got a taste of Luigi's mansion. But again, that was short-lived. So many ideas thrown in the mixer, and such little time to show everything. But let me compliment the film a little bit more. Jack Black's portrayal of Bowser, who is unrecognisable when talking, but clearly recognisable when he pulls out the piano to perform love songs for Peach.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
Well, I just want more. Bowser could have had his own TV show with the way they made him so insecure in his private life. Was funny material created there, honestly. Anya Taylor Joy's voice acting as Princess Peach really was good, and she was massively pleased with the character she portrayed in the film.
I think she's really cool. I aspire to be more like her.
She's also going to be in this new Mad Max film coming out later this year, and that should be a good spectacle. The movie's Easter eggs were enjoyable, honestly too many to mention. Go see it for yourself, Nintendo fans. The voice behind Mario and Luigi from the computer games, Charles Martinet, supplies his services in a couple of Easter eggs. I think I noticed a woohoo from one of the Brooklyn locals towards the end of the film. Couldn't work out where the other one was. The original music throwbacks and the attention to detail in the visuals were impressive, with Rainbow Road being a highlight. However, most of these positives were short-lived and held back by the weak storytelling, and then they'd throw in some tacky 80s songs that really didn't need being in this film. But again, I've got to drive home that there's a lot to like about this movie, but also, on the other hand, there are a good amount to dislike as well.
I would say it is fun, epic, colorful, vivid, which is not the same thing. It has a lot of heart. It is very funny, and it's just a really fun ride.
The movie is visually breathtaking, and the fan service is commendable from the people who made this. If they want to make sequels or their own cinematic universe, then you've got my money, just as long as you do it right. I firstly want a Zelda film, but I want it to be a 12A. The game for me is quite haunting and unnerving, but I absolutely love it. Zelda as a PG comedy would be a terrible decision. Starfox, though, could easily be a PG, and if the right choices were made, Nintendo and Illumination could see this film get close to $1 billion. Maybe it's just the success of a flying film like Top Gun Maverick, but if they tried that formula and sprinkled some Guardians of the Galaxy over it, then we have a certified winner. Nintendo and Illumination have made a visually stunning but disjointed story that became tiresome to watch as the film progressed. But if you can get past the weak narrative, you will enjoy the Easter eggs, especially if you're a fan, and the attention to detail in the visuals is impeccable. I don't think Disney would have been able to make a good Mario movie because their agenda is off in the clouds at the moment. Look at last year's two Disney flops, Lightyear and Strange World, which were both trying to be so woke with this same-sex relationships and then trying to drill this into children's heads. Watching a movie is supposed to be a sense of escapism, and I feel like the Super Mario Bros. Movie succeeded in that department. I really want this to be a financial success, mainly because I want to see more from this combination. The future is looking incredibly bright for Nintendo. Them and Sony could see the computer game adaptation genre dominate the box office like the superhero comic book adaptation did for so many years. And considering the dwindling success of the most recent MCU and DCU films, it looks like change is imminent for Hollywood. But what will be the next phase in popular culture? Hopefully Mario.
Wahoo!